What if we could put an entire language on a piece of paper?
There are literal words that won't fit into your piece of paper, nerd.
Of course, if you think I can just draw down the entire German literature, every 120-character word they got up in their sleeves, or even just the sorcery of hearing them blabber syllables at 500 Hz frequency, quite the work of aerodynamics, I tell you. But that would be delulu. Moreover, imagine if you started learning German but 10 minutes later you ended up here. But every language has its fundamentals. Things that you need to start learning before you can jump on the bandwagon of beer drinking and cussing their football players while laughing incessantly on a Friday evening. If I can at least start mapping out those fundamentals and branch different topics from there, wouldn't that be easier on the head? That's what I did. Prompted on AI to find out different topics to the highest extent to build out a basic scaffold of what's important. And I know, right now you're thinking this is nothing better than unicorn poop dipped in candy soup. That made no sense.
These little words and arrows can never come near my 120-character word.
Relax, Hello Kitty socked keyboard warrior. This is simply a foundational scaffold I got from AI. It's about to change, evolve, and flutter like a butterfly. But that changing is what really turns on our gears, thinking how different concepts connect and create stuff we never thought we could create. Even if the 12,000 letter doesn't fit in here, maybe it will fit in parts of that word for several other words, and that lessens your workload by a lot. That's one of the approaches I want to take for tossing up the learning system. There's also a lot of other carefully knitted strategies and systems I want to add into this equation so that we stay consistent and efficient as much as possible. Because I'm a firm believer that you can learn German in a million different other ways, but my style and delivery is the only reason you're here, hopefully. And if that's the case, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I hope that wasn't too cheeky. The scaffold has a directionality, unlike the rest of my life, of course. We gotta know how many letters there are, which thankfully is just the English alphabet, with the umlauts and sz. These have special ways of saying. The entire language does, to be fair. Schwarz, Wissenschaft, Entschuldigung. Yes, a few days with the Greenbird taught me these. Sorry guys. Putting a bunch of these together gives us, you guessed it, a word. And putting a bunch of those together gives us, you guessed it, a sentence. But you can't just put those randomly together. There's an order of doing it. That is called grammar. Now, I will admit, that grammar bit does look like it's gonna mortify the bananas out of me at every opportunity it gets. There's a bunch of disconnected topics and subtopics in there which I haven't put in much thought to organize yet. That's because I know it's going to change so profoundly that trying to make sense of it forcefully is gonna be worse than Patrick banging a wooden board stuck on his head wondering why he can't go through. Moving on, a bunch of grammar and sentence topics, and there's this quote-unquote comprehensive list of situations that I need to know the words for to talk. But I don't see a P break in here. Guess AI thinks the waterfall's happening in my pants in Deutschland, even at the B2 level. But that's about it. This still looks like a literal train wreck, but hopefully one that catapults us into the right place. Make sure you catapult into my next video. See you soon.